Before I start, I want to be clear on my definition of niche. It's something that's not super popular, but it's not obscure either. Well, okay, just listen and lock in, okay? Mega Man is a very well-known and iconic video game franchise, but I think people greatly overestimate how popular it actually is. Yes, Mega Man is very well known in the gaming space, but outside of that, not really. Mega Man is recognizable, but the franchise has always occupied a much smaller space than people often assume. Mega Man is not mainstream popular, especially not these days. Compared to big name gaming franchises like Mario, Sonic, Pokemon, Zelda, and the like, Mega Man is far smaller. Mega Man is sure iconic and well known if you're into video games, but outside the gaming sphere, no. Most people who've never touched a video game would have absolutely zero idea who Mega Man even is. They'll think he's some weird anime character. He's a complete nobody to non-gamers, compared to something like Sonic or other major gaming series. There's a difference between recognizable within gaming culture and recognizable to the general public. And even in the gaming sphere, Mega Man is mostly known to gamers who are familiar with platformers or Nintendo or somewhere in that hemisphere or some shit. And not every gamer would recognize him. Your average normie who plays shooter games or sports games that does not touch platformers or action games would not even know shit about Mega Man. To be clear, niche does not equal unknown. Mega Man is a weird middle ground where he's not obscure, but he's not like mainstream like Mario, Zelda, Pokemon, Sonic, Minecraft, Fortnite, GTA, or etc. To get to a personal story, deadass, I've only met like 2 Mega Man fans in real life. Maybe it's also because I'm a loser who barely makes friends and has bad social skills. And they're like actual Mega Man fans. Like ones who actually know quite a bit, to actually knowing who like X and Zero are. Like outside of Mega Man fans, or maybe Marvel vs. Capcom players, I almost never meet anyone who knows who Zero is. Outside of that, most people I've met only know Mega Man because of Smash Bros. As that blue guy from Smash. Legit, I actually met someone who didn't even know Mega Man had a game series. I am not fucking joking. Most people I meet often only know Mega Man because of either Smash Bros. Or because I never shut up about him. Like legit, I have a friend who is like the most normie ass gamer who doesn't even play platformers. He mostly plays Minecraft and sports games, and I think he used to like Sonic. But he did not know Mega Man at all until I started nerding about it. I play Smash Bros with him quite a lot, and I pick Mega Man often, and I get him with the cool Final Smash, and he's like confused as hell, but he thinks it's cool, I guess. I'm aware that yes, Mega Man is iconic enough to have appeared in numerous crossovers such as Smash Bros. But that's also partly because Capcom is happy to license their characters out and it's free advertising. Like, even with the people who do know Mega Man, most of the ones I've seen only talk about Mega Man 2, like the NES or SNES stuff. Some do know Mega Man as a character, but have never touched any of his games. Outside of classic Mega Man, specifically Mega Man 2, this franchise is hella niche. Honestly, I think the entire franchise is niche. Classic Mega Man is less niche due to having been around for longer, thus he is less obscure than the other versions. There's 2 types of Mega Man people. There's ones who grew up playing Mega Man 2 on the NES or something. And then there's people like me, who are obsessed with Mega Man X and Zero lore to an absurd degree and goon to Alia's tits. X4 and 03 are fucking peak gaming, and they're not talked about enough in the general gaming community. And one of my favorite series, Star Force, is niche as hell. Ain't nobody I've seen ever play or even know about it. Most Mega Man fans I've met on the internet are like grown-ass men in their 30s and 40s. There are younger fans for sure, but the older crowd definitely mostly dominates. A lot of Mega Man fans are obsessed retro gamer type people, like nerdy ass people like me who probably like mecha anime or some shit. I think there are a couple reasons for this. The nature of these games and that there's all these different sub-series. Classic Mega Man is the most recognizable, however I still see people to this day who mistakenly think that classic Mega Man and X are the same character. Yes, that still happens. The franchise isn't just one series. There's classic X, Zero, Battle Network, Star Force, Legends, and each of them have their own fan bases. Some people have only touched like 1 or 2 series. Also, the games themselves don't exactly scream mass appeal, likely because of the difficulty of these games. Personally, aside from a few games, I don't really find Mega Man games that brutally hard. Most of them are pretty fair, aside from some few things I don't like design-wise, but that's just me. But to the average gamer, these games can kick your ass. There is stuff like easy modes in games like Mega Man 11, which is great, I'm all for this stuff. Personally, I find stuff like lives and lack of checkpoints annoying and outdated design, but that's a whole different topic. Still, I don't think these games appeal to the mainstream masses, and that's okay. I'm not trying to say Mega Man appealing to more people erase that series identity or whatever, but I think Mega Man being fairly niche and sticking to what it is fine, honestly. Not every franchise has to be mainstream, it can be niche. But Mr. MPSX, it sold 40 million units and made so many games! Yes, I know. And the real question is how many of these games themselves actually sold over 1 million? 5. 5 games, not counting collections, selling mostly 1 million each. Most of the games in the series barely even crack 500,000. Mega Man 2, 3, and X1 did so well because the market was smaller, and even then they were never top sellers in any of the consoles they were on. In fact, they were pretty far on the list. Mega Man 1 did horribly, by the way. Mega Man 11 is the best-selling game in the series as of now, selling over 2 million, which is good, don't get me wrong, that is great. But we need to know how that was achieved. Mega Man 11 sold as well as it did because of Steam sales and console discounts over the span of several years. It didn't see 2 million that fast. Also, this game's 8 years old now. What the fuck is time, man? What the hell? God, I remember this shit like it was yesterday. Like, what the hell? What the fuck is time, bro? Like, what the fuck is this shit? Even then, many game series with far fewer installments sell much better units per game. Even Capcom's own franchises. Street Fighter is huge to where it's a pop culture thing in general, like everyone knows who Ryu and Chun-Li are. Monster Hunter is huge in Japan. Everyone back in the day was playing on their PSPs in Tokyo and Osaka. Devil May Cry are the PS2 classics, and I don't even need to explain Resident Evil. Most of the best-selling Mega Man games barely outsell Devil May Cry 2. And to other gaming franchises, Kirby games consistently sell millions and do much better. And Kirby is one of Nintendo's lower selling series. Not bad selling, but it's much smaller than like Mario, Zelda, and Pokemon. The only reason Capcom made so many games was because these games are cheap as shit to make, reusing assets and engines all the time. And a lot of the games in the 2000s were on handheld portable consoles. And Capcom, especially Inafune, were milking the hell out of the franchise, and it was not healthy at all. Machine gunning out like multiple games a year. There is one exception. There's Battle Network or Rockman EXE, which did really well, but that is mostly attributed to Japan. Battle Network was a huge hit in Japan. Not Monster Hunter popular, but it was quite popular with Battle Network 3 and 4 selling really well. It had anime, manga, toys, and all that shit. But that was a temporary success, not long term. And speaking of Japan, Gundam is mainstream huge and massive in Japan. Like Star Wars level huge. Literal life-size statues and post stamps. But it's niche as hell in the West. The only people in the West I know who like Gundam are those who grew up watching Wing on Cartoon Network, Toonami. I deadass see people who mistake Gundams for Transformers. Like when I showed them a literal Gunpla box that has Gundam in big bold letters, they still call that shit a Transformer. Like what the fuck? This isn't unique to Mega Man either. Fighting games are also another genre I consider relatively niche. Street Fighter, Tekken, and Mortal Kombat are iconic franchises that have sold millions. Far better than most Mega Man games, but compared to shooters, sports games, GTA, Minecraft, or open world games, the audience is much smaller, especially the competitive scenes despite having how vocal they are online. Smash is kind of the exception because it broke into the mainstream, likely because it's simpler and has Mario and Pikachu and the like. Yes, I know what I said about Street Fighter is contradictory, but most normies only know like Street Fighter 2 in the arcades, and far less have actively are into like stuff like Third Strike or the Alpha games, or even know who Akuma is. I don't think Mega Man was ever meant to appeal to absolutely everybody, and honestly that's okay. I'm not saying Mega Man becoming more popular would somehow ruin the franchise. I just think that Mega Man occupies a nice middle ground. It's iconic, respected, and has a passionate fan base, even if the fan base is relatively niche. Not every franchise has to be Mario.